Hi guys, and welcome to another Elementor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got this cool little responsive text grid for you today. And that's a nice little feature to have on your site. It's got a nice little hover effect there, and obviously you can link these to wherever you want. Really easy to do and a nice little effect. To do this today, we're using some code from CodePen, submitted by somebody called Shaw. Thank you for that. Just a bit of simple HTML and some CSS. So let's get started. I'm going to add a new page and we'll start from scratch. I'll get rid of that old page, we don't need that. Call it what you want. I'm going to use Elementor full width canvas for this. So under template over here, if it's not visible, just hit the little chevron there. I'm going to use Elementor full width so we can use the full width of our page. And I'm going to edit with Elementor. Okay, and to do this today, we want to use a little code module, and this is available in both the free and the paid version. So if we roll on down, there it is, a little HTML module. I'm simply going to drag it over here. There we are, we've got a section with a little code module in it. Let's go over to CodePen and grab some code. Okay, here's our HTML with the names in all the boxes, the white writing there. They've kindly linked them with anchor tags so we can add our own links really easily. So let's grab all this HTML. I'm going to click inside the box, hit Control A to select all, Control C to copy, back to my Elementor, and I'm going to paste it in my little HTML code box up here. You won't see a whole lot because there's not a lot to see until we start adding some CSS. Okay, now to add the CSS we need to open some style tags in our HTML block here. So I'm going to drop down a couple, and to open a style tag it's a left hand pointy bracket, the word style, and a right hand pointy bracket. As soon as you hit that right hand pointy bracket, it'll put the closing tag in for you, and the only difference there is the / before the S, as you can see. Let's make a bit of space between them, and inside we can add our CSS code. Now let's go back to the CodePen. We have to be a little bit choosy with this today. There's some that we don't want. If we look up here, they've got some HTML for the body, which we really don't need. So I'm going to take everything above and below this presentation style right here that you see, because I don't want to affect my whole website body. So I'm going to go just above it and take everything that's above it. Control C again to copy, back to the site, and we'll paste it in the style tags there. And again, you can't see much because we haven't finished adding the CSS yet. Let's drop down another line and we'll go back to our CodePen, and we'll go back down again. We won't bother with the presentation styles there. I'm going to start again from sibling fade. Make sure you grab the dot at the beginning of the class name there, all the way down to the closing bracket there. Doesn't matter if you grab that last bit, that's just an empty text for notes right there. So I'm going to copy this bit, Control C, and it was just under the margin order there, back to our site, and I'm going to paste this in just below the last bit we did, and you should see something happen now. There we go, there's our little grid with our little words in it. It doesn't look too interesting, but of course we can make it our own now. So before I do anything else, I'm going to go into the section and give it a background to make things more interesting, but that's entirely up to you. So I'm going to hit the little blue tab here in the middle, go to the section, I'm going to go to style, background. I'm going to give it a little gradient today, and on the top I'm going to make it blue, and on the bottom I'm going to make it black. There we go. Now we've got a background in there. You can see it has actually got its own little boxes in here. But of course you're going to want to make your boxes say what you want them to say and link to where you want to take your visitors, obviously, and make it the color and size that you want. Now the great thing about these boxes, like I mentioned earlier, they're responsive, so it doesn't matter how long the text is that you put in there. Of course you're going to want to put your own text in there. So if we go back into our module here, here's the writing right here, and I'll try and zoom in on this when I render this video And I'm going to change that lorem into, say, web design. And as you can see, although that's a longer word, we've still got our boxes working fine. If I just add a bunch of random letters, you'll see as I add the letters, it's still going to be a grid however long you make your little box here. So that's a fantastic little feature there. Okay, so we got our web design in the first one there. And obviously go through and add more if you need, or take away less and put in the words and links that you want in yours. If you want to add some more, just simply copy one or two of these at the bottom, however many you want to add. Control C, drop down a couple, or drop down one I should say, doesn't really matter, and add two more and it'll still be a grid. Okay, well, I want to get that text. I don't like that red color for the text, so if we look down at our CSS here in the style tags, just before we get to the bottom, you've got a color right there. There's the color. I'm going to make mine a sort of gray. I'm going to make mine 777. Obviously you put in whatever hex code or color you want there. And that works a little bit more for me. And if you want to make the text smaller, I'm quite happy with it to be large like that, but if you want to make it smaller, the font size is just below 1.5 em. Let's make it 1 em. As you see, that makes it smaller, and again it's still a grid, which is great. So I'm going to put that back to 1.5 em. You can use pixels or anything you want when you're doing this. And if you wanted to put a background color behind it like they've got here, you can go into the actual module itself. You might want to give it a bit of padding or something to make it bigger, but that's entirely up to you. Just click on the little blue one there that we're in there already, back up to the top to advanced. And you've got a background right here. And obviously you can put a gradient or a color in if you want to. Just for example, let's put that red in. And as you can see, it's got that red background there. But I quite like it just with our gradient background with our section. So I'm going to lose that color. And we'll go back to how it was. Okay, well, we're pretty much done here. But of course, you know, I'll show you how to add a link, because you're going to want to link these to somewhere if you're doing this. So here's the anchor tag, href equals, and where the hashtag is there, you want to put the URL that you want to take your visitors. You want to be careful not to lop off the inverted commas either side. So let's grab a URL. Let's take this CodePen one, for instance. Control C to copy again. Back, and I'm going to paste it where that hashtag is. Now this is great. Let's just publish this and check out our changes there. Now this is great, but as you can see, it's going to link. If I do this, it should take us to that CodePen page, which is great. But we're linking off of our site, and our site's no longer open. We're going to another person's site. So best practice really, if you're linking to somebody else's site, you want your site to stay open. If you want to do that, we just need to add a little line after our URL there. So just to the right of the last inverted comma there, make sure you don't lop that one off again. Put a space, T-A-R-G-E-T, target equals, open and close some more inverted commas, and in between the two inverted commas we want to put an underscore and the word blank, B-L-A-N-K, and that'll make it open in a new tab. Let's just update. And it should have updated our site here for us. Go to that open page. This time when we click on that web design, it should open in a new tab. There we go. Fantastic. So you can continue through and add whatever titles and links you want, and add more blocks if you need to. Really nice little feature. So that's how to build a little responsive linking text grid for your WordPress website. Really easy to do. Thanks again to Shaw for providing this code today. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.